Let me make sure we got it. Okay. Everything set. Set. Shit. That's going right there. Boom. My desk's a little messy today. I'm not even going live. What is up, guys? It's your boy, Mo. Now, today we're back in again with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to a video called Whores on YouTube Kids. Not the W word, H word. I don't know why they put it that short like that, but yeah, it's basically saying the whores of YouTube Kids. That still sound bad. I tripping? That's crazy. But yeah, I never really been on YouTube Kids for real, like ever. I wasn't even a part of that little era. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I always been a regular YouTube type of nigga. Like the first time I watched YouTube had to be like 2008, 2009. Yo, I ain't even gonna lie. Like I'm from that little 2008 to 2016 era, where I don't know how to explain it to you. Basically, I was born in 2006, but even me being 2 years old, I was old enough to actually experience the shit that niggas that was born in the 90s to the early 2000s would experience. Like, it was some real shit, and then on a good level. Like, I was there when WeWorld was out. Everybody don't know about WeWorld, especially for this generation. Not letting a lot of niggas my age know about WeWorld. I'm be real with you. You gotta be young as hell to know about that. But I'm old as hell to know about that. But yeah. Basically, I was out during the earliest part of the internet, so I don't really know about YouTube Kids for real. I just know it's a more restricted version of YouTube. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no further ado, I think we just gonna get into this video, and we gonna see what they talking about. Cause my little siblings be on Kids YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, after I watch this, man, I might gotta take it off their phone. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but you know what I'm saying? Let's.
When YouTube first launched in 2005, it very obviously was not intended for kids. Not a lot of people know this, but the platform you're watching this video on right now was originally built to be a dating site.
Wait, how? Wait a minute. Let me look this. Bro, you're fucking lying. Wait. A dating site? How? What the fuck? Wait. Yes, YouTube was convinced as a video-based dating site when launched on Valentine's Day 2005. Founded by Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim. The platform's initial slogan was "Tune in and hook up." Do y'all have like a... Let me go to images. What the fuck? I know your ass lying. Wait, so what happened for them to change it? Bro, I ain't gonna lie. The type of person I would have been back then, bro, if I was the same age as the niggas that created YouTube, or even around there, like probably my 20s or some shit, I definitely would have thought they created a site where niggas could just post all types of videos and shit on there and just, you know, build a fan base. But
yeah,
site?
The idea was that you
would upload a video. How thirsty you gotta be to create a website dating site, bro?
Introducing yourself, and then
imagine that you would actually stay like
this. Other users and message them if you liked what you saw. Kind of like those weird dating videotapes from the 80s and 90s.
I'm a nice fellow. I don't know. I'm particularly attracted to black women and women of different races. So if you like me, give me a call.
This idea wasn't very successful. In fact, according to one of YouTube's founders, Jawed Karim, nobody was uploading dating introduction videos. But some people were using the site to upload other sorts of content. Dog videos, clips of family vacations. There didn't really need to be any sort of gimmick to make YouTube work. People are just happy to have an easy way to share their home videos with others online. YouTube may have launched as a dating site in February 2005, but by June of that year, they had completely rebranded and revamped the platform to remove all traces of its odd dating site beginnings.
Imagine choosing from 100 plus meals a week that are healthy and also delicious. Let's be real, Factor's menu is way healthier than the competition. Their chefs actually know what they're doing.
Much like other blossoming social media platforms at the time, YouTube's majority demographic for the first few years of its existence were teenagers. This is pretty clear when you look at all the major YouTube stars in the early days of the site, who mostly appear to be high school or college students. I personally started using YouTube in 2007 when I was 11 years old. Back then, the only good way to use the site was to visit it in a browser on a computer, whether it was a laptop or desktop. Tablets didn't exist back then, the modern form of smartphones were still in their most primordial form, and were mostly relegated to a select few tech enthusiasts. And the only way to watch YouTube on a TV was to hook up a computer to it and use it as a monitor.
What?
Which most people couldn't even do because CRTs were still the most widespread form of TV at the time.
Wait, so... Damn.
Majority of tube TVs don't support the digital I/O a computer needs. In short, YouTube was inconvenient, and that really prevented it from being used as a serious platform for anything. But then,
I ain't gonna lie, we might gotta be grateful we was actually born in this generation and we're still living today. Cause if you really think about it, bro, imagine being alive during the time when you had to literally take a laptop or a computer and hook it up to your TV to watch YouTube. I wouldn't even be able to fathom how the fuck to do that shit.
wouldn't be the case for very long. In the early 2010s, smartphones capable of high-speed cellular connections would explode and become widely adopted. iPads would kick off the consumer tablet market, which also exploded. People would swap their bulky, aging CRT TVs for cheap and higher quality LCD panels, which could not only act as a computer monitor, but YouTube would even begin offering apps for game consoles and streaming boxes like Apple TV, which were also becoming widely adopted. Gone were the days of sitting at your desk to watch Smosh's Food Battle. Now you could watch PewDiePie on basically any media consumption device you owned. And you know what people started doing? They began using YouTube as a babysitter. Using traditional TV to keep your child docile meant
Well, that was
keeping
the
them in a
iPad kid
specific
era.
room where the television was. But now, you could just hand them an iPad while you work in your office or cook a meal in the kitchen. Tack on the fact that YouTube is free to
iPad era.
use while other streaming services or
kid era,
cable
I
all
meant.
cost money, and YouTube began to be flooded with very young and impressionable viewers as the 2010s rolled on. Creators eventually began to catch on to the fact that the limited amount of child-focused content on YouTube at the
Bro,
time...
I don't know what year this was, gang, but the time when I was watching YouTube, bro, that shit scared the fuck out of me. Like, the whole site, especially the type of shit you was gonna find on there, I was seeing all types of creepy shit.
was getting an enormous amount of attention. With some
Like, it
videos
was just
making
a...
less
Bro,
than
if you
hundreds of-
really wanted to see a vision of hell as in technology, as in a website type of form, you gotta go to old YouTube,
millions
bro.
of views. Obviously, there was potentially a lot of
They
money
had
to
the
be
black
made
market
by
on that
making
bitch,
videos
everything. They
aimed
probably
towards
did,
children.
most likely.
And I'm sure a lot of you know how that turned out. As long as television has been around, there's been an ongoing argument as to what is and isn't okay for children to be watching. Some people say kids should only be consuming educational content, or TV with some sort of moral lesson to teach. Some people think it's not a big deal if children are watching fun, junk foody kind of shows every now and then. Regardless though, whatever is on TV is generally governed by some sort of code of ethics. Broadcasters all have a reputation to uphold, and no category of television gets quite as scrutinized as kids' TV. But on YouTube in the mid-2010s, the only scrutiny children's channels faced was YouTube's then fairly lax moderation system. There was no code of ethics or enforced morality. The only thing that mattered was whether or not you were getting views. As a result, a culture of shocking kids content emerged on YouTube, which you probably already know as ElsaGate. Sleazy creators would make videos of popular kids characters like Elsa from Frozen, getting into obscene and often graphically violent situations. I probably don't need to tell you much about ElsaGate since you almost certainly know what it was about, but simply put, being a young child on YouTube in the mid-2010s meant being confronted with your favorite characters getting their limbs torn off, being injected with mystery chemicals, getting pregnant, and other bizarre and
Oh
shocking
yeah, that shit is
scenarios that
crazy,
only
yo.
served
I'm
well.
telling you, bro. I'm really saying it like this, bro. I remember, I don't know if this was this year, last year, whatever, but my little siblings be watching some weird ass shit on YouTube, and I be literally kind of sneaking up behind them and seeing it. Like, you know how motherfuckers be on their phone and you can kind of come by and see like what they looking at or something. They be watching that same exact weird shit. He really just described it. And then they be watching like furry shit too. I be like, bro, what the fuck? And they like 5 or 6 years old, bro.
Stand out from
They
other
like 5 to
creators
6 years old. Why is they
so
watching
your
that?
videos get more views and you make more money. ElsaGate was a giant controversy, and YouTube would begin to try to mitigate the platform's issues that had caused such a depraved niche to emerge. They'd slowly harden their content moderation system to the point where even saying certain words in a video was enough to get it age restricted and demonetized, as every YouTuber is well aware of. They'd release a completely separate app called YouTube Kids that only contained a more curated selection of channels deemed appropriate for children, which would eventually go on to solely feature human review channels. But most importantly for our story, in 2020, YouTube would give creators the ability to mark their own videos as made for kids. It was clear that many parents were
I
not
wasn't able to
using
do that
YouTube
back then.
Kids.
So
They were still
that's
just
new.
handing kids iPads with the regular YouTube app. So YouTube made an effort to separate kids content from non-kids content on the full version of YouTube. If you mark your video as made for kids, it disables the comment section, the mini player, targeted advertisements, and changes your video's place in the algorithm. Even if you
Okay,
don't-
so now I really gotta think about it. I think I marked one of my videos that type of way before. That's probably why I didn't get so many views or
your
something.
video is
What
made
the
for
fuck?
kids, YouTube will sometimes just automatically do it anyways without your permission if it thinks your video is kid-friendly. This automatic moderation doesn't really work very well and can sometimes lead to a very strange array of quote-unquote made-for-kids content. A lot of videos I've covered on this channel have been marked as made for kids, like these stop-motion animations that recreate actual gore videos and often use the original violent audio.
Oh,
And
hell
also
no.
this channel that features shrink-wrapped body parts, which is probably just an art project, but still not appropriate for children in the slightest. It makes you wonder, what other bizarre videos are out there in the deep expanses of YouTube that have been marked as made for kids, and are showing up on children's homepages? That was the original goal of this video. Find some strange and creepy clips marked as made for kids, and investigate them like I do in my other videos. But as I started researching, I quickly learned that the world of kids' content and children's YouTube accounts is a whole lot more complicated than I initially thought. I mistakenly assumed that I could just set a YouTube account to some sort of restricted mode for children that would only show me content marked as made for kids. But that's not the case at all. Let's start with YouTube Kids. Making an account here is simple. All you need to do is log in with your normal YouTube account and create a kids profile. Like I said before, this is an entirely separate site and only really features human review channels, so you're not going to find much out of the ordinary here. This isn't really what I wanted to cover. I wanted to talk about the Wild West aspect of made for kids content, but we will return to YouTube Kids near the end of the video. Making a kids profile in the main YouTube app is a lot more confusing. Whenever you watch a video that's been marked as made for kids, there used to be a little YouTube Kids disclaimer next to the video description. But that's now been replaced on most videos with a link to this Choices for Families page that explains the different ways you can watch kids content on YouTube. You can either choose between a YouTube Kids profile or a kids account on the full YouTube site, which will supposedly only show you made for kids content. You can apparently set all this up through a family management page on your YouTube settings. When I checked this out, I saw the YouTube Kids profile I set up, and there was also a way to invite a different YouTube account to enter my family group as a supervised member. I assumed that this was how you would set up a kids account on YouTube, but this actually sets up a supervised teen account, which has access to basically everything on YouTube, the only real difference being that your family group manager can see all your activity.
Meet
Bro.
Angelina. She's
Yo.
a credit worker. She doesn't
Don't
know
do
that
this shit,
canceling older credit cards when they're...
It took a little while to figure this out, as it's really not clear, but to set up a YouTube Kids account, you actually need to make an entirely separate Google account from scratch. In this case, we're going to be making a Google account for our cat, Gordy, who's turning 8 years old this year. But we're just going to say he's 9. Don't tell YouTube. You go through the account creation process, but you have to make sure to select an age under 13. Then it'll prompt you for your parents' email, and from there you can set up a kid's profile. Something interesting here is that you have to press accept on a disclaimer that basically says, we can't fully guarantee that the content your child sees on the platform will be appropriate, which is not something you have to do when signing up for YouTube Kids. You also have to choose a level of content restriction. For the sake of this video, we're going to choose the tightest restriction, which YouTube claims should be suitable for ages 9 and up. Finally, we have the kids' YouTube account. You would think that now we should only be able to see content that's been marked as made for kids, right? That's not the case. This is what my homepage looks like. The only search I did was for analog horror, so I assume all the recommendations here are based on that, but the thing is...
I mean,
basically-
let me... Oh, yeah, nah, that's not for
all of
kids,
these
bro.
videos are not marked as made for kids.
Yeah, that shit not for kids, man.
In fact, I've been clicking around for a few minutes and I haven't come across a single made for kids video. There is some filtering happening though.
I
if we
mean,
look at-
I'm gonna really keep it being with you. It's not a bad, like... How do I even explain it? It's not a
My
bad
channel, for
YouTube
example,
part, though.
the only video that's
At least you're
deemed
not
safe
seeing ass and them on the front page or anything. Like, that's...
enough for kids is the video I made about the most mysterious song on the internet. Everything else on my channel is gone. If we look at a larger horror creator like Nexpo, nothing of his is available. It would appear that YouTube is more or less completely disregarding the made for kids setting and is instead using some other automatic filtering
Oh,
marks
yeah,
certain
they can't
videos
watch
and
that shit.
categories
What
as safe
the
for
fuck?
kids. Which kind of begs the question, why even have a made for kids toggle if it doesn't do anything? I would say a lot of the channels on the YouTube Kids app have been marked as made for kids, but a surprisingly large amount aren't. Marques Brownlee and Mr. Beast certainly do not mark their videos as made for kids, and the majority of gaming channels here
Why
aren't
is theirs not marked, like... Like, you can't mark it neutral.
for
Them
kids
is not
either.
bad videos to look at.
It
Some
appears
kids
that
probably wouldn't know shit about technology. You
Either
just never
you
know.
or YouTube marking videos as made for kids basically does nothing except restrict audience interaction of videos and doesn't actually affect a video's
I
actual
don't think kids
visibility
can
to
watch
real
that.
kids. This made for kids setting
I don't
kind of
think
reeks
kids
of a
can watch that
deprecated
shit,
Google
bro.
feature, and I
Bro,
would be
niggas getting blew up in the ibuprofen, bro. Kids can't watch that shit.
surprised
hell?
if it doesn't just get straight up removed in the next couple of years. But let's not get too off track. I started this video to see what inappropriately scary things you can find with a children's YouTube account. So let's take a look. In terms of actual
Bro,
horror creators,
There's no
like I said,
disturbing. It's not too many disturbing shit on there no more. Like, YouTube, not like how it was back then,
most
bro.
of us are completely filtered out. But you
You
can
won't be
still
able to
see
tell the
some
difference
creators
unless
that edge outside of horror sometimes, like Blame It On George, for example, with some of his lost media videos still being viewable. If we look up some horror-adjacent topic, like liminal spaces, for example, it's completely absent here except for a few weird exceptions, like this 800,000 view video about creepy liminal spaces. Why is this available to watch and not Jaden Sal's liminal space videos? Enough about generic topics though. Let's look up a more recent Elsa Gate kind of controversy to see if our kids account can actually see stuff that's potentially damaging to a child.
I don't
If
know
you
what the
haven't
fuck
heard
it
about
was.
QCat AI, you should go watch Raymondo's video about it. But in short, there are creators out there using AI image and video generators to make awful shock videos revolving around cats. I don't really want to describe what's being done to these AI pets in these videos, but it's very violent and upsetting. Many of these cute cat AI channels have luckily been banned, but it seems like more pop up every day. Like this channel called Cat AI Dreamer. On normal YouTube, we can see horrible, violent thumbnails that are typical of the cute cat AI trend. Let's see if it's any different on our kids account. While the majority of videos have been filtered out, 20 still remain, which is 20 too many in my eyes. This is pretty disappointing. I know that YouTube makes you accept a disclaimer that states you may encounter inappropriate content while using a kid's account, but the fact that Blame It On George's videos about SpongeBob Lost Media are filtered out, but not AI-generated animal abuse, is just plain absurd. By the way, if you're watching this on Patreon, I'm still censoring out the cat AI stuff. Sorry, but nobody should be seeing that. As awful as this cute cat AI stuff is, there is a reason why it's still visible to kids' accounts on YouTube. If you examine these videos from the viewpoint of the YouTube algorithm,
Shit
rather than
hurt.
just a viewer, there's not a whole lot there to indicate that there's anything amiss about these videos. The descriptions are all ChatGPT nonsense about heartwarming cat videos, and while the titles sometimes can contain questionable keywords, it does make sense how a bot might accidentally categorize this video as safe for kids, even though it very obviously is not. And understanding this shortcoming of YouTube's analysis of metadata pretty much explains how all inappropriate content slips through the cracks. And that kind of brings us to our next topic. QCat AI is just one example of an anomaly in the YouTube algorithm. I made an entire video about this, so go check that out if you want to get a deeper understanding, but in short, the algorithm doesn't actually
What the
watch videos or
I'm
understand
not
what the
gonna say that,
content
okay.
of a clip is. It only categorizes videos based on titles, descriptions, transcripts, tags, all the metadata that surrounds a video. But if there's something wrong with the metadata, the algorithm can sometimes glitch and put videos in the wrong place. You often see this sort of thing when a video has no metadata except for punctuation or emojis. The algorithm has no way of knowing what the video is about, so it groups it with other videos that also have the same nonsense strings of metadata, creating unnatural niches. This was actually a bit of a trend a few years ago, the most prominent example being people uploading creepy clips with the title,
Wait. Full stop punctuate. Fuck. Wait, let me look. Alright, let me look at that shit real quick. Oh, these some weird ass videos, bruh. What the hell? Yo, look at this shit. That's a human, by the way, bruh. What the fuck? Yo. YouTube, bro. This what y'all showing the kids, bro? Yo, that's a dude. What the fuck is that? This what y'all showing the kids, though, bro? Y'all wildin', man.
full stop
Just
punctuation,
drawing.
which is what you would see if you typed in just a period character and hit search. Even more so than QCat AI, almost all of these algorithm anomaly niches are viewable with a kid's account. A lot of these videos are actually pretty mundane in reality. Usually people just put a creepy thumbnail and the actual video is something completely different. Like this video. The thumbnail shows some dark figure crouching in a corner, but the actual video just shows a groundhog yelling on a mountain.
That's anything.
Like I said in my full algorithm anomaly video, some people take it a step too far and use actual gore photos from shock sites in their thumbnails, which I think is the worst thing we've been able to see so far with
What
the kids'
the
YouTube
fuck,
account.
YouTube? This just
Something I
showing.
did not
Listen,
mention in my video,
listen.
though, is
The crazy part is, bro, I will literally get a content strike. Yo, I will literally sit here and get a content strike just for uploading something that wasn't even bad. But y'all got full shit like this on here. It's crazy.
that these unnatural niches are not
Wow,
only
man.
focused on scary content.
I've
If you
definitely
search
seen
for
that back in the day. I'm not
dissonance
gonna lie
creepy
to you.
characters
That
with
one
little
video,
emojis at
hell
the
yeah.
end, YouTube will show you a mix of suggestively explicit and Elsa Gate-esque videos.
Kids is not supposed to be watching that shit.
For whatever reason,
What the
search
fuck?
suggestions you get after typing in 3
Bro. That's how motherfuckers end up playing house, bro. Y'all gotta stop.
at symbols all seem
That's
to show
not
you the
cool,
same weird
man.
mix of suggestive content and Elsa Gate brain rot. While I was looking for more algorithm anomalies, I started to notice a weird trend.
YouTube, bro.
Whenever
What are
I
you
would
doing?
search for
Oh my
nonsense from
God.
characters, my search results would always include these playlists with keyboard smash names that were all filled with kids' videos. It wasn't just one or two. I could find as many as I wanted as long as I kept searching. The accounts making these playlists are all adult accounts, as kids' accounts don't have the ability to make public-facing playlists. You see, to some degree, everything we've talked about so far in this video doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you can find inappropriate and horrifying content with the kids' account on YouTube, because parents are still just handing their kids iPads that are logged into fully fledged adult YouTube accounts. YouTube can do all the moderation they want, but if the app doesn't know that the viewer is a child, then how is it supposed to do anything? The issue here isn't just YouTube doing a bad job of moderating content. A large part of this falls on the parents who aren't putting in any effort to use YouTube's child features, as flaky as they may sometimes be. We were talking about children's television earlier. I think the closest comparison to a parent letting a child use an adult YouTube account without any restrictions would be a kid getting unsupervised access to cable TV, but that's still not nearly as bad. Everything that goes on TV is made by professionals and moderated by humans who want to upkeep the reputation of the broadcasters they're working for. And the more raunchy stuff usually only comes
Exactly,
around
bro. Yo, I don't know if I'm tripping though, bro. But I think they really had adult shit on TV when I was younger. I'm not sure, but I just remember, bro. Like, this is a vivid memory too. This is like maybe like 10, 12 years ago, man. I'm on Dish. Was it Dish? I don't even fucking remember. Either. Because I know I had Xfinity 12 years ago. In fact, I know 12 years ago I didn't have Xfinity. So, I'm on Dish, right? they got this one tab where it's like it's probably gonna switch to other shit, and it's basically it's not displaying it, but it's basically telling you what's kind of going to be in there with like a couple words. So then I'm like, man, if that was in here, I can only wonder till this day what was actually behind that tab, but I'm still not sure because you had to literally put in the parental code and everything to even look at it. So
After most kids are fast asleep, YouTube is moderated by an algorithm, and there's no broadcaster reputation to uphold. Anyone can upload anything. The only real consistent thing that keeps creators in check on YouTube is the amount of attention they get, which just incentivizes channels to make more shocking content.
bruh, they gonna have these niggas, bro. They gonna have these kids thinking Hitler was a good person, bro.
Like QCat.
They gonna think Hitler was a cartoon character,
yeah,
bro. What the
the
fuck?
community guidelines can
What
seem
is this
overly
shit?
harsh, but they can also be skirted around pretty easily by just avoiding.
Detectives discover horrifying secret of monster boyfriend. Victoria Martin's case. Her mom let her. That's
showing
crazy.
certain things on screen and avoiding saying certain words. The subject matter of a video isn't nearly as much of a factor.
No way y'all
as you
showing
might
that to the
think.
kids though, man.
So the moral of the
Y'all
story
need some
here
help.
is parents should probably just be using the YouTube Kids app, right? Everything there is chosen by humans, similarly to children's TV. You're not going to find.
I mean, let's be real. 100% of the times, bro, I don't think they just gonna have everything just spaced out, gang. Like they don't even know how to do that with certain. Like it's kind of like what you look at on your algorithm. What the fuck they gonna show you? Pretty sure even on YouTube Kids, they gonna show you some crazy
the
ass shit.
content on YouTube Kids, right? Well, what's the definition of inappropriate content? If you actually take a closer look at what's available to watch on YouTube Kids, it'll probably make you think twice about putting it in front of your child. Do you really want your kid watching videos like "Stalker escapes from jail, what happens next will shock you"?
And authorities are searching
I
for
mean-
an inmate that escaped prison on foot Thursday night via the courtyard fence. The Sacramento police say Dave Gingras escaped the Somerville Detention Center where he had been incarcerated since last winter.
Oh, this is a
Gingras
real case on
escaped the
YouTube.
prison during an outing to the outdoor courtyard at around 8:30 p.m., officers say.
What
That
even is
thumbnail's
this?
crazy though.
Human curated or not, a lot of the content on YouTube Kids is bottom of the barrel, low effort brain rot. Maybe it's not inappropriate in the sense that it's too adult or too shocking or anything that can be considered horror, but it's still just garbage. Like, do you really want your kid watching Hamster and Roller Coaster Maelstrom with a shark? You know what? I changed my mind. This is based. This video really didn't turn out like I thought it would. I genuinely thought that we'd just be looking at creepy videos that were marked as made for kids and talking about some Elsagate kind of stuff, but there's just so much more wrong with kids' content on YouTube in general. I think if there's any moral to this story, it's that you probably shouldn't be showing your kids YouTube at all. Why not put on PBS Kids instead? It's a 100%
Bro,
free
didn't
app,
they
and
shut that
it's got
down?
infinitely better kids content than what you're going to find on YouTube. It requires very little
Or-
effort to download an app.
Or I heard ABC Mouse got some videos, man. I heard when I was younger, man, like they definitely had some good videos for the kids and all that,
It's your
man.
app, and who knows what
That's all
change it
I'm
might
saying.
make for your kid. You might have noticed that the music in this video is different than in my previous videos.
Maybe they don't, but
That's
I don't
because
know.
I just made an entirely new album of ambient music that's going to be kind of like the 2025 Farrah Maguire soundtrack. It's called Living One, and you can find it on every major streaming service. I'll pin a comment below with the link if you guys want to check it out.
Hmm.
If you're curious how I make this music, we also just put up an exclusive make.
I'm not. We not looking at that, bro. Anyways, though, y'all, that's the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm not even gonna lie. Y'all make sure y'all guard your kids' eyes, man. If you gotta delete YouTube, bro, no bullshit. They can't be seeing half this shit, bro. It do hit different, bro. They be looking at what we YouTube be sending us, what we be posting, bro. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, my shit is neutral, bro. I don't post no crazy ass shit. I know better than to do that. I'm a grown ass man, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, you ain't gonna see no shit like that. But anyways, though, y'all be safe out there. Make sure your kids safe. We out. We bippin'.